trying to refire the heart of Cororooke, where the brogues used to dance for the people who never came back. Out there somewhere, I know they're looking for a fire in the distance, warm enough to guide them home. I'm stoking these flames, I'm gathering more wood, for there's goodness waiting here to breathe life back into Cororooke. Out there somewhere, I know you're looking for a fire in the distance, warm enough to guide them home. And home is here with the ghosts of the brothers. Home is here with the materials for your dreams. Out there somewhere, I know they're looking for a fire in the distance, warm enough to guide them home.
So, tell us what's remarkable about this ancient oven.
Well, this ancient oven is called a Scotch oven, built by one of the builders come out from Scotland. They built these ovens all around Victoria, probably right across the country. It's one of the few that are left standing once the large bakeries knocked them all down to get rid of competition. They brought the premises, knocked the bakeries down and removed competition, and that's why you can only go and buy white sliced bread at your supermarket now. But this one will be restored hopefully soon and be able to again bake a nice high tin.
Okay, so tell us about the restoration process.
So the restoration is going to be just tidying up this steel work. A lot of it's got cracks in it. It's been, as you can see, it's broken. This door itself isn't in bad nick. It's fairly straight and great, but this over the other side here, where the firebox is a bit buckled. So over here there's the firebox doors. These are a bit buckled, but they can be restored by a foundry in Castlemaine, brought back to new or replaced altogether. Inside the grate area is a bit crumbly. It's got lots, the steel in there falling apart. That grate will need replacing.
Okay, so how's it work?
The oven works here. It's got about a 4 metre by 4 metre platform the bread's cooked on. You can cook in one fire, and at this oven you can cook up to about 800 loaves of bread. So on this side, the fire gets built, that heats the oven up and brings it up to 400 degrees roughly. And once you're happy with the temperature that it's at, you put the fire out, put your loaves in here to be cooked, and when they're cooking, they as they're cooking, the oven's cooling down a bit, so you cook the ones that want high temperature first, then you remove them, and then you put in other things that are more delicate and need less heat. And so you're cooking on the downward heat all day or all night, whenever they do it. And you can cook up to, like I say, 800 loaves of bread in one fire in at this oven.
Well, and so you said there's sand below, and it's all surrounded by sand?
Yeah, so down here underneath the brick platform there's sand, and then up above the roof of the oven box is about another 2 to 3 feet of sand. That insulates the heat, keeps the heat in, and it also comes down to the sides a little bit, the sand on both sides. So it's a very well insulated oven, it keeps warm for days. This room that we're standing in is the proofing room, so loaves of bread were proofed in this room, so the rising happens in this room. It sits at about 25 degrees once the oven's going, it keeps the room at a constant temperature.
And home is here with the ghosts of the brogues. Home is here with the materials for your dreams. Home is here, waiting for your passion to fan the flames that are warming the
these towns that you drive through them now and you just see the skeletons of a wealthier age?
Oh, I think modern industrialisation, computer technology, robotic technology, the factories that sort of rationalised things and pulled everything into one big factory to make things, so as it wasn't spread out across little towns. Little town businesses get brought out by bigger concerns, and they call that progress, but in my book it's not. So
how prosperous was this town before you were born?
Oh, this place had a train running through it across that paddock out there, and used to take produce from out at Elvie, Borrian, Dreeite, all this area. Took it into Colac, loaded onto obviously service Colac, but then loaded onto another train to go down to the city. It was very, very prosperous. People had simpler lives. I think they had more time to themselves because they didn't want everything. They didn't want everything in life. You know, they just wanted a simple life and enjoy family and enjoy community. I remember, you know, all the old blokes most of them are gone now, but every Sunday they wandered off to church. Every Saturday they wandered off to the football. And you know, but these blokes worked during the week, you know, and they provided for their families, and we sort of think, oh, I wouldn't want to work as hard as they did, but I don't really reckon they did. I reckon they knew what they were doing, they were skilled at what they were doing, and it's like it's not as hard as you think to just take a step back and do things in a simpler way.
Now, so do you think the globalisation of moving jobs offshore, did that have any part in it?
Absolutely it would. It's globalisation's a curse on community. It's a curse on we as a people. It affects a very negative change in community. For a community to prosper, everyone needs to work together. It takes more than one ingredient to make a product, and so if you've got in your community everyone making part of the end product, it just brings everyone together.
In your time now, were you aware that it was declining, or were you basically, as you came into your own self, was the town already dead?
No. When I was younger, there was lots of produce grown out this way. We spent a lot of time picking onions and potatoes and things. But one fond memory I have is going over to the old Cororooke butter factory over here. It was called the Colac Dairy Company. It was an arm of the Colac Dairy Company by then. But you could go over there and buy a great big cheese wrapped in cloth, and you know, a huge lump of cheese. It was weigh about 5 kilograms, and you know, it was just a beautiful thing to do. Walk into this old brick building to the place where the cheese was made and take home this beautiful fresh cheese, you know, or matured cheese, and divide it up amongst your family. You know, it was just one of those things that doesn't happen these days.
So in increments, then, you just, as you were growing, you were just watching another death, another factory going bit by bit, getting to where it got now. Yeah.
And I mean, it'll get worse yet before it gets better if we don't you know, as a community bond, get together and make a change for the better, to try and construct some of this idea that globalisation is good for us. It's not.
Okay, so most entrepreneurs would think if they were going to try to attract somebody to a dead town, they'd either build, a racetrack or something like that. But you built a theatre, and no offence, You don't look like someone who would build a theatre. So why would a young man who grew up here on a dairy farm, made it successful, what is the history of why you'd want to build a theatre here?
Well, I was involved in theatre since I was a young fella. Introduced to it by a neighbour, lives up the road from us. He took me under his wing and introduced me to the Melbourne Theatre Company. He was actually the manager of the Melbourne Theatre Company for a time. And
why would he decide to take a young dairy farmer apprentice, probably then?
No, well, I was a lot younger than that then.
Oh, a kid from the bush. Why would he decide to? What did he see in you that thought this guy needs theatre?
Probably that very reason. He was a man from the city who came down for a tree change with his family to live in the country, and come across this kid wandering around in bare feet with freckles and no knowledge of the city, no history of anything other than just running around a paddock. Thought, well, I can give this lad a bit of an education and an experience. And have you ever been to a theatre? What's a theatre? Only when I got my arm fixed up and I broke it, And so he and his family brought me tickets as a young fella to go to the Melbourne Theatre Company. Brought me season's tickets and took us down there, and I saw plays and all sorts of performances. One of my most memorable ones was watching Frank Thring play, and Frank's been dead a long time now, but there's something that'll stick with me for a long time.
What was the play he was doing? He had that incredible voice.
Frank, it was the man that came to dinner. Was the play? Quite a funny play. Anyway, then I got involved from that with the local theatre company in Cororooke Players, and I loved doing the lighting, helping out with the sound and doing backstage and all that sort of thing, putting props in place. Walking out on the stage at the wrong time is one thing I remember doing. And then I got involved with the acting side of it, and it was good. I probably didn't have any terrific stage presence, but I enjoyed it, and that's the main thing.
What did you enjoy?
The collaboration, I think, with other people, just creating something and looking out to an audience and looking them all up with this great expectation that you're going to entertain them, and then seeing them laugh and seeing them cheer and clap, and taking them on that same journey that you're on.
There's AI is coming up like crazy now on all artists. It's creating music, literature, poetry, paintings, everything. But I've got a feeling that theatre might have a renaissance because people will want to see humans telling stories.
It's like those home-baked loaves of bread that are going to come out of that bakery up the road. People want to see homegrown theatre. They don't want to see this bullshit AI stuff. That might keep them entertained while they're, sitting on a bus going to Melbourne or something or other. But they want experience. They want to enjoy sitting in a seat beside their friends and feel the warmth of the actors on stage, the performers on stage, and then communicate with them. You can't communicate with a bloody AI thing.
The theatre is called the Carolyn Theatre. What's the name? What's that about?
The story behind that. So Carolyn was one of my daughters. She was taken in a horrific car accident years and years ago, back in 2007. The story behind naming the venue after her, the theatre after her, was just so there was something there that held on to my memory of Caroline.
Now, you're saying before you're not screaming out for artists because you really need an audience. So if I'm in Melbourne, which is about 167 k's away, why should I drive all the way up to here? What's in it for me?
If you were coming to watch the show,
the difference, I suppose, between a show here and a show in Melbourne is the intimate theatre, but it's also, you know, I wouldn't drive all the way down here unless you're looking for a full experience, and you know, maybe book a motel or something and stay the night. But it's you're going to get a different experience. You're not only going to see the play, you're going to mix with the local people that live in this town, and or live in the region. That's going to be an experience in itself.
And you got the restaurant and the tram restaurant.
Exactly. The venue itself is unlike any other venue in this whole region outside of city centres. It's got a fantastic restaurant. It's got a beautiful kitchen, and of course the tram restaurant down the back. Outside, it's got, for summer use, it's got a amphitheatre and a outdoor stage that's built, you know, been purpose built for to add to what we've got here. It's got so many beautiful things that take your eye, that make up the building. A mural on the wall over there, the eclectic furniture, the stage bistro up there, the bar, the old church doors that are used at the back of the bar to display what drinks we've got behind us.
Now there's a lot of chandeliers. What's your interest in chandeliers?
Oh look, I love the glitz. You know, just because we live in the country and I you know, am who I am, doesn't mean I haven't got an appreciation of you know, the glitzy things in life. You know, I love things that sparkle and things that are beautiful.
Yeah. Now, when you're saying about you're not screaming for artists because the artists want to come here, is this because there's a lack of business behind the arts in Australia, especially in the theatre? It's like run by grants mainly and stuff like this. There's no actual, how do you make an artistic show that can actually make money for the theatre, make money for the artist, like basically show business. Do you feel that we need more business acumen when it comes to art?
Yeah. I mean, you can't go into something without a business plan, and you know, it takes people to. You've got to have an audience. That's the first thing, and the audience really needs to be ready to go before the play's even thought of, because you've got to think, well, who am I going to show this play to? Is there an audience that might be interested in it? Is there an audience there? Are there people in that area? You know, you go down for a drive into the country and all you can see is paddocks. You don't see people. So, but it's like the rabbits, you know, they're all down the burrows, mate. They're there. So you've just got to entice them out. And people down in the country, there's a lot of people that love theatre, love live theatre. And once they hear about it and we get that momentum going, they'll come. They'll come to see your plays and your creative inspiration. Community's good for us. Knowing where you live's good for you. Knowing the people around you is good for you.
Do you think we talked about how to destroy a town, but now how to make it alive again? So you've done the op shop, you've done the bakery, you've done it here with the theatre and the restaurant. So do you think, because humans don't go backwards, so the way forward is so you're restoring things, but it also needs a new mindset within the community to say, we're going to rebuild this town, and why?
Yeah, look, humans maybe don't go backwards, but they do have the capability of, if they see they're going the wrong way, of turning around and walking back to where the crossroad was and taking the other path. And I think that's what we need to do. By starting up small businesses or small concerns, or reigniting little concerns in towns, in small towns, it brings more people to the town because it's interesting. People love sort of, you know, that point of difference in a town. Every town would be different. every say a bread that's baked in this oven is never going to be the same as bread that's baked in another oven. Every town has their little quirky things. And it's like the op shop up the road. When we started that, I guess, about 4 or 5 years ago, that brought, just a simple little op shop, as it grew, it brought a lot more people into the town, which had a flow-on effect to the general store across the road, the post office. You'd see people come into the op shop and then wander over to the post office and grab a newspaper or a loaf of bread.
So it's the thing about build it and they will come.
Absolutely, that is evident in this theatre that we're standing in, or the restaurant part of it. It's quite evident. People are intrigued, people need this sort of thing to gather, and they've come out in droves. This has been going for 14 years, the theatre, and we're always busy.
And you got the thing of, you're born here or you grew up here, you bought a small paddock of your parents, you grew it into a very successful business, a dairy business, and your amount of vision, that's what I love about you. What is your vision going forward? What would you like to see happen here? Even if it wasn't in your time, but you're placing the vision in place. What would you like to see?
I'd like to see people stay in the area. I'd like to see people connect again with the land. I'd like to see a lot more market garden type situations where land was being utilised to grow food for his local use, rather than us transporting food from one side of the country or one side of the planet to the other. There's a lot to be said for locally grown produce and just locally grown love for one another.
That's the other thing too, we were talking about before, because the vision you have for the area, but a lot of people who are doing stuff in Australia, entrepreneurial, one thing they deal with is naysayers and people putting them down. You were saying that someone said straight away that'll go broke.
Yeah, it was quite funny. We started up this venue here, the restaurant side of it, and the first post that popped up on Facebook was from someone who say, "Oh, well, that'll go broke," and I thought, why the bloody hell would you even say that? That was such a sort of a dumbass thing to say, as far as I'm concerned. But who are you? Who said that? That's what I want to know. Who are you? Come and see us.
But don't you think, though, that this is sort of holding us back? Where that mentality is holding us back. We're in dire times now. Economically, we're in difficult times. And entrepreneurs are the ones that can get us out of it. And it needs to be encouraged.
Yeah, and a positive approach to whatever you're doing is what will get you through. And stick at it. Hard work, that helps.
What keeps you going? What keeps the passion going for you? Now you're moving to the bakery as well.
Yeah, look, telling me I can't do something is like a red flag to a bull. And if I think I can do something, I'll try, and if it's working, I'll try harder, and I'll just keep working towards it. If I can bring other people along for the journey and inspire them and make it a community thing, all the better. That's what I love. I'd look like a damn fool sitting up here on my own every day, wouldn't I? So it's about bringing the whole community along, and that's what inspires me.
And